welcome to Cooking's Carlson Day 71.
Something, 70 something. Yeah, today we're going to be showing you how to make an easy sugar cookie bar. So for those of you that don't like to mess around with the rolling out of the sugar cookie dough, we've got a very easy variation for you with the best frosting ever. Okay, so we're going to be making sugar cookie bars. For this, you're going to need 1 cup of butter or 2 sticks softened, 2 cups of sugar, 4 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 5 cups of flour, a teaspoon of salt, half of a teaspoon of baking soda, and then you'll also need some other ingredients for your frosting, but we'll get to that later. We're going to start with the cake part of it. You're going to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. What I really like about these sugar cookies is that they can be done in half an hour or less. It does not take long at all to make these, and you're not messing around with the dough. And I like the taste of these so much better than regular sugar cookies. Sometimes I think sugar cookies have a dry taste, but these do not. These are delicious. All right, so we're going to put in 2 sticks of softened butter. That's 1 cup of butter. And then we're going to add in 2 cups of sugar. And then we're going to beat this. I'm going to use the creaming attachment on my mixer just to cream those 2 ingredients together before we do anything else. All right, do that. Be right back. Okay, so you'll cream your butter and sugar together. You may need to scrape the edges down a little bit so that it comes off of the sides. The next thing that we're going to do is put in our eggs one at a time. Mix this up after each addition of the egg. So let that cream up one at a time. Just let it mix in together. There's 2 eggs. And 4. Okay, now we'll add in our vanilla. We need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 1 and 2. Okay, so we've got a really creamy dough right now. I'll show you what that looks like. Really creamy. What we're going to do is get a separate bowl and mix our dry ingredients. And then we're going to put the dry ingredients in, and you'll only want to mix it until it's just combined. You don't want to overmix this. Okay, so get a separate bowl and you'll mix your dry ingredients in that. You need 5 cups of flour. You'll just want to make sure that your flour is slightly sifted in your container. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and you need a half of a teaspoon of baking soda. We need 1 teaspoon of salt, half and 1. And I'm also going to put in about a half of a teaspoon of nutmeg as well, just to give a little extra flavoring. Nutmeg is a common spice that's used in sugar cookies. We're going to throw that in too. And then just with your measuring spoon, mix your dry ingredients together. And again, we're just going to add this to our wet ingredients and let it cream until it's just combined. Do not overmix this. Right. Okay, so after 30 to 45 seconds, that's it. That's all it takes. You have your dough all ready to go. All right, so all you're going to do then is take a big sheet cake pan and we're going to grease this. Okay, so you're going to grease your pan just with some cooking spray. onto the pan. This is kind of a thick dough, just like sugar cookie dough, so you may have to use your hands to press this down so that it spreads out evenly onto your pan. The easiest way to spread this is by using the palm of your hand, just to make sure that you get it spread out evenly. It is a very thick dough. Once your dough is spread in your pan, you're going to bake this at 375 for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes, you're going to want to pull your cookies out of the oven. It may look like it's not done, but pull it out because you don't want to overcook this, and this will continue cooking in the pan. So don't let it go for much more than 10 minutes. Let it sit out on a wire rack, and then you can make your frosting. You're going to want to let the cookie cool for a good 20 minutes to a half an hour or so before you put the frosting on, but we can go ahead and get our frosting going. You're going to need a half of a cup of butter, or 1 stick. This should be softened. So just go ahead and put that into your mixer. You're also going to need a half of a cup of Crisco, and I use these baking sticks, these Crisco baking sticks. There are measurements on the side that show you what a half cup is. So you'll just find that measurement, cut that off, and dump that in with your butter. Okay, so what we're going to do first is get the butter and the Crisco whipped together. I'm going to add the creaming attachment again. Just whip that up. After you let that whip up for a little bit, you're going to add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla and just a pinch of salt. So just take your finger and your thumb and just grab a pinch of salt and put that in. Next, you're going to add a total of 4 cups of powdered sugar. We'll add those 2 cups at a time. So there's 1 cup. And 2. Let that mix up before you add the next 2 in. Okay, so that's pretty good. We'll add, there's the 3rd cup. And 4. The last thing you're going to add is about 5 tablespoons of milk. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, what you want to do at this stage is take a spatula and just kind of bring everything off of the sides so that it continues to mix together. If your frosting is too thin, you'll just add a little bit more powdered sugar. If it's too thick for your liking, add a little bit more milk. All right. If you want to color your frosting, now would be the time to do that too. You just put a couple of drops of food coloring in that.
Okay, so these are ready to get the frosting on.
Yeah. So we left our frosting just white. If you want to color it though, you certainly can do that.
There's some sprinkles back here we can decorate.
Yep, we'll put some sprinkles on the colors. We're going to turn ours into a flag today. What do you think about that, Rach?
Very interesting.
Yep. All right, so all you'll do to finish up these sugar cookie bars is spread the frosting on top of the cake and then decorate it as you see fit. The sprinkles make a good little addition.
Yeah.
All right, and so that's all there's to sugar cookie bars. A fast way to make a lot of desserts, especially if you have to take it somewhere. And there's our finished sugar cookie bar.